What do we place upon our hearts? Lisa read. To help us serve with dignity, in harmony and truth. What do we place upon our hearts to help us remember who and what we serve? What do we place upon our hearts when our hearts are broken, weary, anguished, in despair? These words from Rabbi Yael Levi are inspired by the book of Exodus. Exodus, a book of the Old Testament about a people wandering in the desert, adrift and at loose ends. For months they wandered without shelter, without sources of food and water, vulnerable and afraid. I think of the salt that must have crusted on their faces after long weeks of sweat under a blazing sun. I think of the blisters that became calluses on their feet, the raw and tender skin on their heels that gave way to tougher scars after so much walking and so much wandering. I think of their hearts, weary and despairing at the risks that they have taken to follow Moses out of Egypt and into no man's land, the gnawing fear growing inside them that perhaps they've made a mistake, perhaps God has forsaken them. To prepare for sermon writing is to take stock of that which is in the air. It is to ask oneself, what is resting in the souls of our people this week? What do they need to hear? I get insights and answers to these questions by reflecting on the small talk of our lives. What is being dropped in casual conversation, in the check-ins and the Facebook comments, in the text messages and the holiday letters, like breadcrumbs. Small but significant clues that lead me to a better understanding of what it is that we are all collectively holding right now. Broken, weary, anguished, in despair. This is what you have told me as of late. This is what I have felt for myself in my own heart as of late. And in the name of a new year, in the name of a time when we claim for ourselves and the possibilities for the coming months, let us take a moment to claim this now. We are laid low by these days. No need for context or explanation. We all know why. For like the Israelites wandering in the desert, we have begun to wonder ourselves, have we been forsaken? Will we ever see the promised land? We've had glimmers. We've tasted manna from heaven that looked and felt a lot like a hug from our grandmother, that felt like a prick from a syringe in our non-dominant arm, a lot like a pew filled for worship. And yet here we are, in the midst of another go-around, another winter of suffering, another term of vigilance. So, what do we place upon these broken hearts of ours? What do we place upon these weary, anguished hearts? Rabbi Levi says, we place upon our hearts at this time, we place upon our hearts the names of those we love and the names of those we are loved by. Name them. Name them now. Out loud to yourself or type them into the chat. Name them. For me, Livia, Antonia, Suzanne, Melissa, Tony. Name them. I see them coming in. Name the gifts Name the gifts and the hopes of the ancestors and of the children. Name them. What are they for you? What did your ancestors gift you? Did they gift you temerity, the drive to stick with it, that stubborn fortitude to stay the course, to learn to swim despite the risk of drowning, to learn to read despite the swirl of sounds and letters which confounded you? Did they gift you a love of breaking bread? And for your children, name the hopes. What are they for you? That the world might cool a degree or two in their lifetime, that they inherit no debt? I don't care how self-conscious you feel right now. Now is not the moment to be shy. Name them. Claim them. Fill your small, quiet space with the names of your loved ones. Fill your space with the gifts of your ancestors, with your hopes for the future. Make your partner, the one sitting on the couch next to you, make them do it too. Exchange names. Exchange hopes. And then, Rabbi Levy says, then we must place upon our hearts the qualities we yearn to live by. In this faith, in this house of worship, we yearn to live by our principles, to make real in this world the qualities of universal dignity and loving interdependence. The times are unprecedented, and we find ourselves called to devotion, to devote ourselves again in the new year, again this year, to our principles, to return to love, to return to hope, even when it feels near impossible, even when our hearts are anguished and weary and broken. We are united in that devotion to make real the love and justice that we seek in our lives and in the world, so we place these upon our hearts. And ultimately, at the end of it all, we set upon our hearts an intention, not a resolution this first Sunday of the new year, but rather an intention, a promise made in good faith to try. To try and seek the Ner Tamid, the always light. Inside each of our chests, nestled deep between our ribs and hugged by our lungs, sits a heart. And in that heart, a light. As Lisa lit the red candles, red for the blood which courses through our veins, which wends its way to and from our hearts, she read the words, the intention to seek the always light hidden within the brokenness. For a faith symbolized by the flaming chalice, what could be more perfect than the image of an internal, eternal flame, which warms us where pain resides? This little light of yours, your very own Ner Tamid, you must let it shine. You must tend to it with a gentle vigor, so that you might share it with others. You must nurture it and keep it in your mind's eye, and you must feel it in your soul. And in this moment, I really do. I want you to try and envision it for yourself, that small, sacred light inside you. We need it now. Cherish it. For no bushel can extinguish it, no wind can snuff it out. That little light of yours, your very own Ner Tamid, seek to find it again and again. For to seek it, to cherish it, is to rebuke the despair. It is to declare we are not forsaken, no matter how alone or abandoned we feel in the face of this monstrous grief and communal trauma. There is still our inner light. We have gathered today to draw these broken hearts together, to set upon them our hopes and our love, to seek the inner light nestled in each of our breasts, for we have gathered today to draw our hurting hearts close to one another and to seek a way forward. Because, my friends, because, my beloveds, there is no way but through. There is no way but through. And just as the Israelites could not return to Egypt, they could not go back from where they came. They had to keep on marching forward. So too do we. We continue through till we reach the other side, and perhaps we are in a tunnel midway through, and it is dark, but we know that the only way out is the other side. Perhaps we are in the middle part of the tunnel, and it is dark, and it is scary, but we have our inner lights. We have our small, internal, eternal flames to help us see the path forward, to spur us on, and we are in this tunnel together, not alone and not forsaken, just in need of some reminding of all that we have: love from others and love to give, gifts from ancestors and hopes for our future, intention and devotion for the new year. We have all of this, despite our broken, weary, anguished hearts. We have all of this, and so we will travel together, no way but through. May this year's love be better than last. May this year's hopes be fiercer than the last. May this year's journey be lit from within. May our hearts remain beautifully broken, bound up together as we seek a way through. Blessed be, and amen.
Hi, I'm Reverend Hannah Capaldi.
And I'm Reverend Abby Tennis. We are the ministers at the First Unitarian Church of Philadelphia, where our mission is to awaken love and justice in our lives and in the world.
We're so grateful that you watched, and we hope that the sermon connected with your soul.
We also want to invite you to join us for a live worship service every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You can always find the link to that service on our website at www.philauu.org. In these services, you'll hear words like you've just heard, and you also get a chance to greet one another, pray together, sing together, and we even hold a virtual coffee hour after services to get a chance to greet some new and old friends.
If you want to support the mission of this community and you feel moved to give, you can do so by going to the website that Reverend Abby just mentioned. You can find that link below, or you can text 215-709-5095 and follow the prompts to give.
If someone in your life needs to hear these words today, we encourage you to share this video. And again, thank you so much for watching.
We hope to see you soon.